Well, it's December 22nd. Got caught up in my chores. Some of the calamities died down. And we're headed out for a bit of a walk and a play with the canine pals again. Once again, it's +4 all of a sudden, whereas yesterday it was snowing like crazy and -6 and high winds. So I don't have the big heavy-duty Neos over top of my combat boots today. I'm just wearing these rather poorly made Sorels, not the Sorels of old days. Strapping them in. And lots of room in these bindings for this, for sure. Funny part is it takes 2 hands to get into them most of the time. I'm going to see if I can do it one-handed so you can get a good view of how they button up. There's one. Wow. Like, there's a big difference in the boot size from my Neos to these, for sure. Okay. There, I did that one one-handed. Now I'll do the other one two-handed. Okay. I'll get this squared away, set up the way it's supposed to be, and then we'll do a snowshoe walk and talk. Stand by. Okay, so we're mobile. We're out here with the craziness that's required, and of course, my faithful canine chasing his favorite wintertime toy. And we're just going to talk about some thoughts that have gone through my mind as of late. So, had a pretty good year with Niner Zulu. Did some serious mountain biking this year. Started with short rides, in the 5K zone, and then bumped them up 10, 15, and 20s. And finished up our biking season with a 43-kilometer from Durham to Dornoch, or from Dornoch to Durham and back, which is a pretty physically challenging bicycle ride for a young man or an old man. And then we had a chance to do a little adventure hike, or AKA rucksack march, before snow came and stayed. We did a 12.5-kilometer cross-country quasi-hike from Dornoch to Williamsford. That was quite the trip, and still planning on sometime this winter strapping a set of these onto his feet and seeing how he manages over, say, maybe a 5-kilometer hike. Of course, I got to pick a place where there's value in it, not just for the sake of physical torture. But I remember just before we went on the 12.5K cross-country ruck march, everybody that knew said, make sure he's got a good pair of boots, make sure he's got good wool socks, and make sure he has this, and make sure he has that. And in the end, because of circumstances and time, we ended up just making it go. What we got and went. And the reality is, from the standpoint of the zombie apocalypse mentality, as much as I like to think that we're all going to be totally prepared for what's coming, it likely ain't so. The reality is, you're going to get by with whatever you got, whatever you've managed to set up when the time comes. It's just the nature of everyday life. The Army model is plan for the worst, hope for the best, and we do try to plan for the worst. Most prepper-minded people have some kind of, stores in their pantry and water, and if you're following the government rules or recommendations, they're saying it's 72 hours. 72 hours, yeah. The last serious emergency that we had in this part of the world, we were without power, without hydro, for 14 days where we lived. And there were parts of Ontario and Quebec that were without hydro for as much as 6 months during the ice storm of 98, for those of you that remember. And the reality is a lot of people were totally unprepared for even the 72 hours. So my message today is don't get wrapped up in the mentality of I gotta have the best. I have to wait till I have the best. I wait until I got the... No, you know what? The reality is what's going to make the difference is mental toughness and physical well-being. That's one of the things I could say about my Army career is no matter how shitty things got, even if it was just in training, what got us through was mental toughness and physical well-being. You know what? We could be days where we were on limited groceries, so to speak, weren't on the perfect diet, or in some cases, we were by circumstance trapped in places that you were totally unprepared for. And even in the Army, they throw all the common sense out the window sometimes and willingly put you in danger. And I mean danger of losing your life, even in training. It's just the nature of the world. It's the nature of human beings. So, here I am again today, out with my favorite canine friends. We went from -6 and snowing like a bugger yesterday to, the snow has stopped. And it's light, fluffy stuff, but it added some depth. And we're +4. Yes, in 24 hours, we're +4. Imagine that. Oh, and there's my buddy who loves making snow angels every time we come out. That's his thing. He just drops out of the blue and starts making snow angels. Okay, Ranger, come get it. Bring it here. Watch this. Yeah, bring it here. No, bring it right here. Bring it right here. That's better. Okay. Now I can get it, and I can toss it, and he can go get it. There we go. Yep. So back to the messages. You know what? You don't have to have, the gold-plated AK-47 to get through the hard times. You don't have to have the top-of-the-line Mount Everest-style snowshoes for the winter months. But you do have to have a certain amount of self-determination. In those times, bring it here. In those times, you're not going to have the best of the best. And you're going to have to get by with what you got. And I continue to remind people just the simple things like, okay, basic food requirements to meet your nutritional requirements for 6 months for one person is what? 50 pounds of rice, 50 pounds of beans, and about 83 cans of salmon or tuna to get your omega-3s and some other stuff. And everything over and above that is a bonus. And in this day and age, when groceries, cost-wise have gone up 4% in just the last year alone, 50 pounds of rice, 50 pounds of beans, and 83 cans of salmon or tuna for one person shouldn't be that hard to accumulate. Yeah, okay, it's probably not your favorite meals. I personally don't enjoy eating tuna, but I do it because it meets my nutritional requirements and helps me stay healthy so I can maintain physical well-being and, oh yes, some mental toughness when I choke that stuff down. In any case, that's today's message. Got all my snow removal out of the way this morning. Got my firewood moved. It's mid-afternoon. The sun's gone in. It's cloudy again. But I'm going to do about 1.5 kilometers, maybe 2 kilometers. Kind of trying to make that my daily routine for the whole winter. Just to stay on top of that because, like everything else, snowshoeing is a learned skill. You can't tell me, oh, I'm a natural at it. No, you just got to walk a lot of miles in it and learn how to walk in them so you don't fall every 3 steps. It's a commitment, and being out here in nature, well, that's good for your mental health too. In any case, I'm going to get on with exercising my dogs and myself. Hope you enjoy what's coming this winter. Okay, 2 kilometers out of the way. Check out the snow buildup on the bottom of those because the snow is wet because it's +4. Hey, dog. Yeah. Hey, watch out. Look at the snowballs on this big brute. No pun intended, but his fur soaks up the wet snow and it just builds. It was all to the point where he couldn't almost walk. I had to break them off. But we got our 2Ks in, and the younger dog, he got his exercise. So it was a good day. Enjoy.